Heilige Chevra, from our last recording, I'd actually like to add in a few more pieces of advice that I received and I figured out. And I believe it's good for all of the different chalakim, but definitely for living well, which we said is a bechina of mamash tikkun in our door. So it's very important to stay to the best of our ability, motivated and inspired and motivated. And when we speak about staying inspired and motivated, it's very important, I believe, to have that nutritious self-communication. That you are internally in line with your goals. Your identity is that which you're trying to achieve. And sometimes the voices will come up, sometimes the feelings will come up, and in a state of das, being conscious and having those nutritious self-conversations. I hear you, I hear you, negative voices, or I hear you voices that are trying to dissuade me from interacting with exercise right now. And be compassionate, as Rabbi Nachman says in Kaf, Hey, that we have to have rachamim on the basar agruf, because our guf, our whole psychology wants to keep us in homeostasis. And anytime we are trying to move, the nefesh will do whatever it can to bring us back to where we have been. And it takes 2 to 3 months to really, 3-4 months to really change. And sometimes it's always a struggle. But if you are your goals and you see yourself as your goals, this is your identity. It's very, very important. So that internal nutritious relationship, and to appreciate it's there and to be firm. I know voices, you're coming up and you're saying don't exercise. I use my bechira, my God-given bechira, my inheritance. I choose to exercise. I choose to engage in eating healthy. And as we said, sometimes if something happens, get back on the bandwagon as quickly as possible. So the first nakuda is listen to yourself, be in touch with yourself. I would as well say learn from others. I don't think we mentioned this before, but the nakuda of mentorship, as we know, so important. Learn from others. Make this a priority. Listen to experts, learn from others, and then reflect upon what they have shared. I think this has really been an important lesson for me, that I can just fumble around in the dark, or I could hunt out the experts in fields. And this is actually what I've done. Any subject that I've become very excited and enamored by, to stay hopefully inspired and motivated, I've worked on seeking out the experts or the best people in the field that I could seek out at that time. And it's a journey. And already for the last 16, 17 years with the Arba Yesodot and with the principles of living well, I've been reading and studying, but more than that, I've been reaching out to very live people, experts and professors. And usually they're really helpful and they want to share with you. They want to express and explain a lot of the time, especially if you find the more retired professors. One of my teachers I speak to is a professor, is a retired neurologist, and they have a lot more time and they enjoy speaking about neurology. And I tell them what I found and they agree or disagree. But the fact is that a lot of the time speaking to somebody or reading a book about something, you can upload 30 years of research in a couple of weeks. A person could have dedicated 30 years, 20 years, 10 years on this particular something, and you can upload that information in however long it takes to read that book. And that leads on to the third nakuda. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Find ways to educate yourself. Reading books or finding the material that's going to excite you, even going to, if you can, when I studied martial arts, in order to keep inspired, I would go to different demonstrations, or I'd go to watch different people practicing. So it's nakuda of staying inspired and motivating, reaching out and reaching out to others, educating yourself and listen to yourself, be in a relationship with yourself. And Be'ezras Hashem, each and every day that you practice who and what you are in your true identity. I am this fit and healthy person. And you stop and you imagine yourself getting there. It's the micro steps, day in, day out. The chizuk we have, as we spoke about sichas chaverim and having a routine, etc., etc. And then in our message for today, to reflect upon, again, listening to yourself, learning from others, and educating yourself. And this is in order, and same with the last message, to stay inspired and Be'ezras Hashem motivated.